Gathering plants, picking mushrooms, brewing potions. It all gets so dreary after a while. This town needs something exciting to happen.
Hello Wanderers and welcome back to Skyrim. Our plucky bard is back on the road again, arriving at the city of MORTHAL.
What's the Jarl going to do about it? How are we supposed to feel safe in our own homes?
Please, enough already. I have told Ygritte of your concerns. She'll look after you all. Please, go about your business.
We've no need for wizards in our midst. Morthal has enough problems as it is. It's no use. Let's get back to it then.
So far in our bard circuit, we've performed in a few major cities and in a couple of small taverns and inns from the Inns and Taverns mod. Now that we're braving some colder and more desolate environments, we'll be sure to trigger the Frostfall mod, which will help us roleplay a little more with the elements. Now for a bit of Morthal lore. The town was supposedly named after the great Nord hero Morihaus and is the capital of Hjalmarch. It's a fairly small and humble town of little economic or strategic importance beside the small lumber mill.
Good day.
The town's symbol is the green Triskelion. Although seemingly calm and innocent, this town does hold some secrets that we'll discover later on in our playthrough. But for now, we're just a humble bard and we can't get in over our heads. I think the Great Cities mod does a great job with making this town look vibrant and more detailed.
I'm the best warrior in Morthal, and that's no boast.
Jörgen and I both work hard, all the time. Morthal is important to both of us.
How long have you studied alchemy?
I picked up the trade when I was a girl. One of the temple healers staying here on a pilgrimage showed me the basics. She had a book with her. Song of the Alchemists, that I used to read over and over. I miss having a copy.
If I find a copy, I'll bring it to you.
Really? I'd be happy to show you a bit about herbs if you find the book.
Do you have a hard time getting supplies way out here?
No. Well, sometimes, but that's not the problem. I just often don't have much to do, so I tend to try things out. They don't usually work, but I try. Next thing I know, I've used up most of my stock. Until next time.
I haven't Mother's gift. Not quite. But I've seen things. It's difficult sometimes to know whether what I see is real or not.
What's wrong with your brother York?
Is sensitive. He has trouble focusing his attention on things. We were taking him to the Temple of Kinnereth in Whiterun, just so the healers could make sure he was in good health. And they say he's fine. Are you heading to Whiterun? Could you take this letter to the priestess, Danica Purespring? It's a note about Yorick's health.
I'd be glad to help.
Thank you. Until next time.
Idgrad is one of my favorite characters in this game, and I think Bijin did a beautiful job with the model in this mod.
For now, looking after Yorick is my job. Please don't mind Yorick. He's not mad. Really, he's not.
So let's go visit the Jarl and learn a little bit more about the town before we go perform in the tavern.
I'd be a lot warmer and a lot happier with a belly full of meat.
I haven't Mother's gift. Not quite. But I've seen things.
Fine. Is there something you need?
No, Gorm. I am simply telling you what I see.
Yes, okay. Well, thank you.
So, life has brought you to Morthal, and to me. What purpose this serves we will no doubt see. Welcome. Tamriel is full of wisdom and magic, if one is willing to look for it. Few have their eyes open.
Is there some kind of trouble in
That
Morthal?
which is unknown can create unease, even fear. It is to be expected. Some fear our new resident wizard. As they grow to know him, they will accept him. Time will prove me right.
Where do you stand on the war?
I stand where I have always stood, here in Morthal. Now is not the time to fight amongst ourselves. I fear dark days approach, and all of Skyrim's strength will be needed.
What happened to that burned down house?
Rogar's house? He lost his wife and daughter in the blaze. My people believe it to be cursed now. Who am I to gainsay them?
What does Rogar say happened?
Rogar blames his wife for spilling bear fat in the fire. Many folk think he set the fire himself.
With his own wife and child inside?
Lust can make a man do the unthinkable. The ashes were still warm when he pledged himself to Alva.
So why haven't you arrested him?
On rumor and gossip? No. But you, a stranger, might find the truth for us. Sift through the ashes that others are too fearful to touch. See what they tell you. Should you prove him guilty or innocent, I will reward you. Rogar's fate is in your hands.
I'm just here to protect the Jarl, not to chat. You will not disrespect Jarl Idgrod while in this hall. Do we have an understanding?
We certainly do.
Then by all means, go about your business. Until next time.
Tamriel is full of wisdom and magic, if one is willing to look for it. Few have their eyes open.
I get lost sometimes. I'm not sure where I go, but I'm not here. Bye. Gorm thinks I'm mad.
Alright, we'll do a little bit of investigating around the haunted house later tonight.
I asked Valiant if someday I could learn from the mages in Winterhold, but he doesn't like that idea. Until next time.
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
This new merchant added by the Great Cities mod looks great and is also super convenient for this town, which is usually pretty barren when it comes to being able to trade and sell things.
like magic. Valian says I'm good at learning. I like learning about magic. Bye.
According to canon, Morthal's small population and relatively remote location have kept it distant from most major conflicts in its history. The citizens of Morthal are known to be reclusive and cautious of outsiders. Many alchemists travel to Morthal and its surrounding marshes to make use of the plethora of rare and useful ingredients available. Bull mastiffs from Morthal are fearless and tireless hunters inured to the hardships of the frozen marshes and are owned as pets by many across the land. Residents of Morthal have passed down the legend of the Pale Lady for untold years. They tell of a dangerous ghost woman who prowls the marshes to the north of town, seeking her lost daughter, who is thought to be linked to Umriel, mentioned in the ancient records as a foe defeated by the descendants of Iskermore.
You're different, aren't you? Not like anyone else. Not in Morthal or Skyrim.
This kid does make some pretty creepy comments. Alright, I reckon it's time to do a little performing at the good old Moorside Inn.
Finally, someone comes in. Kick off your boots, stay a while. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. I got nothing but time these days.
It's kind of empty right now.
Welcome to the Moorside. If you need anything, I'll be around. Good to have a customer. There ain't much to offer, but if you want a place dry to spend the night, I'll rent you a room.
Is there a story behind the burned down house?
Hrogar's house? It burned down not too long ago. It's a real pity about his wife and kid. The screams woke half the town. Most folk won't go near it now for fear it's cursed.
How did the fire start?
Hrogar claims it was a hearth fire. Some folks say Hrogar started it himself.
With his family inside.
That's what they say. See, he's living with Alva now. That started the day after the fire. It ain't right moving in with a new love the day after your kin die like that.
And of course, they can't prove he murdered them.
Aye. Our Jarl would sure like to know if he did, though. Might even pay to find out.
Is business slow in Morthal?
Slow? No, it just ain't there at all. Few enough reasons to pass through Morthal before the war started. Now, well, let's just say the front door doesn't get much use. All right, then.
You'll recall that when we started the Bard mod, we received a letter from Lurbuk upon our arrival in Skyrim.
A new face. Such a welcome sight in dreary old Morthal. Welcome, friend. Welcome. Don't fret over the gloom. There's nothing to fear. Old Lurbuk will brighten your spirits. Just lend him your ear. The good people of Morthal have yet to embrace my talent.
Poor Lurbuk.
Try as you may, they won't say good day, but will just walk away. Worry not, Morthal. Lurbuk is here to stay. The fair Yona does me a great courtesy by allowing me to entertain the guest of her noble establishment. I, Lurbuk the Great, will win the hearts of the people of Morthal one day. Mark my words.
Well, aren't you the pretty one? I bet all the men chase after you. The people here work so hard, and they never allow themselves a moment of fun. It's such a pity. It won't last forever, though. These people are like cattle. All they do is work, sleep, and eat. Why, good evening, Yana.
What can I get you, Alva?
What can't you get me, sweetie?
Did you want something to eat?
Eat? No, I don't think I'm hungry. Not now, at least.
Right. Okay. Tell me if you change your mind. Welcome
Gathering
to the
plants,
if you need
picking
anything,
mushrooms,
I'll be
brewing
around.
potions.
Good to have a
It
customer.
all gets so dreary after a while. This town needs something exciting to happen.
There ain't much to offer. But
What
if
can
you want
we
a
do
place
for
dry
you?
to spend the night, I'll rent you a room.
Is there something I can do for you?
Running an inn worth my...
Both of these NPCs were updated by Pandorable's NPCs, which is clearly an impeccable mod.
Hi there. Is there something I can do for you?
Another great thing about Pandorables is that it's fully compatible with Bijin beauties.
When are you gonna do something to help Folian? Stop people saying things about him.
You have to understand, his presence here has caused... well, it's difficult for the people to get used to.
They say Rogar burned down his house for you.
Do they? How delightful. I'm lucky to have a man that is so devoted to me. Until next time.
Not at all suspicious.
Morthal used to be a quiet place, but then the world used to make sense.
Who's there? Is that you, Father?
Who are you?
Helgi, but Father says I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Are you a stranger?
No, I'm a friend. What do you think happened to your house?
The smoke woke me up. I was hot and I was scared, so I hid. Then it got cold and dark. I'm not scared anymore. But I'm lonely. Will you play with me?
If I do, will you tell me who set the fire?
Okay, let's play hide and seek. You find me, and I'll tell you. We have to wait for nighttime, though. The other one is playing too, and she can't come out until then.
The other one? What do you mean?
I can't tell you. She might hear me. She's so close. If you can find me first, I can tell you.
We won't be playing ghostly hide and seek tonight, but we'll make sure to come back and help her when we're a little stronger.
Welcome to the Moorside. If you need anything, I'll be around. Good to have a customer.
I'd like to perform here.
Of course.
If you've business with the Jarl, I'd ask that you speak to me first.
Morthal used to be a quiet place, but then the world used to make sense.
Too many bother my wife with their petty problems, and then don't even understand the advice she gives them. The only thing that matters to me is keeping my wife safe. I won't let anyone harm her.
Good man.
I do what I can to see that Idgrad's time isn't wasted, and that she only has to deal with important matters.
This seems like a quiet
That's what
town.
many here wanted. A quiet life in a quiet place, without the noise or the trouble of a city. Now some worry this wizard Fallion will foul it all up.
What was that argument outside the hall?
Ah, you saw that, did you? Life in Morthal has been troubled lately. The people are uncertain, restless, and merely look to the Jarl for leadership.
What's going wrong in Morthal?
There's news of rebellion against the Empire. Strange noises have been heard in the marshes at night. And then, the tragedy with Hrogar's home. The men simply seek wisdom. Everything will be fine.
Morthal doesn't need any trouble. You keep your nose clean, understand?
Is there something bothering you, Gorm?
There is, a problem, yes. I'm worried about Idgrad, and I don't know what to do.
What's the problem?
She is so lost in her visions, and it's only getting worse. I've looked after her safety for so long. If she can't tell what's real or what's not, how will she continue to lead Hjalmarch?
Is there something I can do?
Yes, I suppose there is. There is a letter, one I have had for some time now. I think it is time it gets delivered. I cannot leave Idgrad's side, so I must stay here. Could you see that it reaches Captain Aldous in Solitude?
I'll see that your letter reaches Aldous.
Thank you. Please, do not open it. It is private.
I'm bored, Benor. Nobody wants to have any fun with me.
If you leave that kinslayer Hrogar, I would be happy to keep your company.
Hrogar doesn't have to know if we sit together, or drink together. I doubt he would even care.
You tempt me mightily, Alpha, but I wouldn't cuckold another man, even a murderer like Hrogar.
Running an inn weren't my plan, but Fallion decided to move here, so I joined him.
I'm done here.
Thank you. Here, this is for you. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
So with the Become a Bard mod, with the more notoriety we gain, the more money we get paid out after each performance, which is really nice.
Let me know if there's anything else you need. Fallion had his work to keep him busy, and I needed something to do. So, here I am.
I like Yona. She's one of my favorite innkeepers. I find that she's really well voiced. And this one is actually really beautiful too.
It's such a pity. It won't last forever, though.
Alright, that marks the end of another day adventuring in Skyrim. We're starting to accumulate a little bit of an inventory, which is nice. Soon enough we'll be able to trade with some merchants. Part of what has made this Let's Play super fun for me is the fact that I've approached it with a little bit more intention as far as role-playing and not rushing through the game. because I know that Skyrim and even Fallout have such an intensely detailed world that it's really easy to forget to use your imagination and really take your time with everything that they're offering you, because you just kind of want to discover it all and use it all and be mega powerful. But it's super nice to start a character where you're not rushing through the initial levels and just taking your time with them and just discovering everything that the little towns and the little villages have to offer. That's why the alternate start mod is so great too, because it allows you to just have a completely different experience than Skyrim, and it makes the game infinitely replayable in my opinion. Another small aesthetic mod that I like using a lot is the Unequipped Shields to Back mod, which simply just shows the shield on the back of your player character and your companions. And I just really like the look of it. I like the way that it stacks up with like the loot and other items, just to make it actually look like you're carrying your stuff around in the world. And speaking of immersion mods, it wouldn't really be Skyrim if we weren't feeling cold and miserable at times. So we're going to be using the Frostfall mod in the next episode. We're going to be triggering it by looking up at the night sky, and after you do that for a couple of minutes, you start to notice that you are feeling different temperatures. So since we are traveling up the north coast, it's going to be the perfect mod for us to start playing with. And as for Alva, if you want to go confirm that she is indeed a succubus vampire, you can sneak into her house and check, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah! Oh no, you don't! That's all you got?
Instead, I personally opted for a more diplomatic option. The next leg of our journey takes us to Dawnstar. And actually that's perfect timing in our storyline, because maybe we'll be able to explore a little bit of the Dawnguard DLC. I didn't used to have it when I played Oldrim on the 360, so I haven't really had a chance to explore that storyline or meet Serana properly, so I'm really looking forward to that when it comes. And of course, as we continue our journey, we'll be stopping in at all the inns and taverns that we can find from the Inns and Taverns mod. And I really love that part of it, because it really does get you exploring the map and finding things in the little corners that you wouldn't normally if you fast travel. And I don't think we fast traveled once through this whole LP, and it's something that I kind of want to keep just in order to have that sense of, you know, actually being on the road, and of course trying to play a little bit more hardcore and a little bit more immersively. And since we're gonna have the Frostfall mod coming up, it's definitely gonna be a little bit more difficult, because we're gonna have to be covering up when it's cold, wearing helmets to keep warmth in, etc., etc.
I'm on a pilgrimage to the shrine of Azura, the goddess of twilight. If you'll excuse me.
What is this
shrine? In the
shrine?
mountains to the northeast. I'll mark it on your map.
We've accumulated a couple of delivery and messenger quests, and also some points of interest to check out. Well, looks like they won't be needing any of their supplies anymore. It's hard to climb up on here. Like a true Skyrim bard, we'll be developing our skills in alchemy and magic as we continue our journey, especially when we reach the College of Winterhold. What kind of characters do you guys prefer building when you make a new character? Do you like building warriors? Do you like making rogue characters like me? Do you like playing with different races like the orcs or Khajiit? What's your preference when you start a new game? I'm always curious to know. Alright, we're a little bit more protected and a little bit more professional in our Gotham Black. Let's go. Whenever you find an ominous location like that, you can bet you'll find trouble soon after. Ooh, get wrecked. I don't think we can get in here yet. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of It's a Bard Knock Life. Join me next week as we travel to Dawnstar and see what kind of trouble we can get into there. Don't forget to like and comment if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you haven't yet. Don't forget to click that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. And if you have any questions about the mods in this load order, just head over to my 2020 Skyrim load order video and you'll have all that information for you there. Once again, a big thank you to all of you for all your kind words and your support. It's what encourages me to keep making videos for you and having fun while doing it too. So, thank you. And until the next one, friends, stay safe and happy wanderings.
I take what little business I can get. I'm grateful for anyone willing to spend money here. Have you seen that Shrine of Azura? They say the Dark Elves built it after they fled from Morrowind. Sight to see.